Hello and welcome to a Topic a Month podcast where we take one topic a month and split it into weekly segments. This feels like deja vu. Today's minicast is going to be on perception of difference and sameness within people and how we view them, both in terms of those differences and lack of, and the people themselves. Before we begin, let's give some recognition to Grand Avenue Veterinary Clinic. This local business has been helping us and our pets for the last 7 years and is very good at what they do. Along with having very reasonable pricing, the staff is very personable and loving of all animals that come for annual checkups and emergencies. They can be found at 5503 Grand Avenue in Duluth and at 1333 Fairgrounds Road in Two Harbors, Minnesota. Well now, let's get ourselves into the topic at hand. Think about the last person that you met for the very first time, shook hands, introduced yourselves to one another, and had an overall good personable experience. You both have interests in the same topic, be it sports, art, music, or cooking. Have the same relative bent on the weather. You both prefer somewhat cool morning with a bit of a mist in the air and enjoy a good cup of Earl Grey on Sunday afternoon, or whatever day it happens to be. You both get off pretty well with one another and end up grabbing a lunch at a neutral place you've been dying to try. Let's step away from this situation for a moment. We know that you both get along very well with each other. You look at this person as in a positive tone and speak of your new friend that you've just made to a fellow coworker, your spouse, or friend. You talk them up with how you both have in common and that you're excited to make a great relationship from this. Your lunch goes splendidly. You find out they are vegan, and they have a great vegan dish in front of them. Though you're not vegan, there's no ill will from them as they respect your choice and you respect theirs. The afternoon advances and you're both having a great time. Share stories from your childhoods growing up, movies that you love, and you both have a strange affinity for the xylophone for whatever reason. As it comes down to some heavier topics, as most conversations and many friendships do, you both let out some deeper opinions. You, a staunch supporter for the right to bodily autonomy, and they, the right to protect others from their own misunderstandings. Let's take, for instance, to make this easy and relatable for many, you support the right to have tattoos wherever, how large, and whatever they are. Your body, your temple, as it were. They do not support tattoos, as it is an affront to the body and should be illegal. They view getting a tattoo as weakness of the mind. Well, now your perception of the new friend has changed. They may have become damaged somewhat. They aren't the person you thought they were. They've become the other, or the outsider. Now consider their position on this matter. Their opinion of you has changed as well. You support something they can't possibly accept as a good choice for life. After all, a tattoo is neglectful to the body. Now you yourself have become the outsider and the other. Currently, you both are vilifying one another based on something which is inconsequential and only affects the bearer of the tattoo. This vilification can be deeply rooted depending on the circumstances of where it comes from, whether it was taught or whether it was gleaned by first-hand accounts. The perception of your friend has changed based upon the position they hold having a tattoo. Not only has it changed, but it has changed in the negative, and more so dependent on the severity of their belief in this ideal. Can we rightly assume that one of these positions is wrong? Perhaps, but it is dependent upon more information. For instance, is this person's belief in this ideal a definition of who they are as a person? Such as, would they fight to enact laws upon it, firebomb tattoo shops, and cut the skin from those who have tattoos? Or is it along the lines of, My body is my temple, and I believe yours is too, so why would you ruin it? How deep their belief system goes on whether tattoos should be allowed on people affects how you see them as a person and how you view their position. Is this position something that should be held in high regard? Maybe. If tattoo parlors en masse were willfully using old needles, incorrect ink, and not sterilizing any equipment, then the position may have merit, but not on the terms that they've defined. And there lies another rule of perception. How is the argument used? From what base is it used? And is it even usable? We can extrapolate their mannerisms, their voice, and their determination to come to a conclusion on this topic. For instance, if you come to the understanding that no one way or another should this be a viable conclusion, and it is a make or break topic for the basis of a friendship, regardless of the steadfast belief in it, then the perception of an unyielding person can be detrimental to future relationships. And it works both ways. Perception is, after all we have of one another. How we perceive someone else and how we perceive our partners, our coworkers, and people we simply don't care for. What we perceive can often be wrong, and we should bear that in mind when we hear new information about someone else. Whether they've committed crime in the past, had a difficult time with alcohol, drug abuse, physical abuse, or they themselves are of a different theology, or none, have been born differently sexually, or choose to, based upon a wide range of a sexual spectrum. We are human. We are different. My mold is my own and ever-changing, as is yours. Our cells will not fit the molds we are born in. If there's one thing we can agree on, and I think most of us can, fuck Nazis. As always, you can find us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at A Topic a Month. If you want to tell us fuck Nazis, please, by all means, let us know on any of the social media and email us at atopicamonth@gmail.com. If you send a voice clip of it, we'll definitely hash it up and put it right in the beginning of the next episode. We've also a Patreon account where you can help support the show, help support our stickers, which we have for sale on our Patreon for $5, and you can send us a video setting them ablaze. Or support us by saying hi. That's always awesome. Thanks, and have a good night.